And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gimmick Table podcast. This is everybody's favorite player one, Johnny Cass. And today I have with me one of the stars, once again, haha, stars. That's going to be in one of the most anticipated independent films coming up next year, I believe, called Resurrection, a biohazard story. And this is today's guest is Annie Roig. Welcome to the show. It is such an honor to have you on here. And we're going to get this thing kicked off by starting with a couple of questions here about, who you are, what your background is, if you have any acting experience or any other projects that you've done before.
So yes, Annie, aka the cosplay mom to some. I've done. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. I don't want to keep you guys here all night, but I guess basically, long story short, I started acting in commercials when I was very, very young. But unfortunately, I don't have any of them because back then, like in order to capture it, you had to like record it on VHS. Not to like date myself or anything or give away my age. But so I've done a ton of commercial work. I was a stunt double for an Axe deodorant commercial that was filmed in New York forever ago. Um, my favorite, though, is doing film and cosplay. So I've been in a couple of movies. I was the lead in a sci fi show called Venus Rises. Um, I was in a movie with Killian Murphy and Lucy Liu called Watching the Detectives. I was mostly crew on that, but at one
Wow.
point they were like, yeah, they were like, actually, we need this person to fill in a spot. So can you just go stand there? And I panicked at first because I was crew, so I was only like in bare face. I didn't have makeup on or anything. So Lucy Liu's makeup artist like helped get me ready to feel a little bit more confident on camera. Um, I've been in a couple of fan films, so yeah, no, this is definitely a first. This project. Oh, and I was the official Lara Croft for San Diego Comic Con and a couple of conventions, so that was fun. Again, long story short.
That's really cool. That is
Long
awesome.
story, less long. Um, sorry.
So, what really got you into Resident Evil? Like, did you play it back when it first came out? Um, I understand that you also cosplay as the original Jill Valentine. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, I remember, oh my God, again, not to like date myself or age myself, but I went into the local GameStop one year with my mom and I saw on the TV it was a preview trailer. Like, you know, when you go on the home screen for too long, it'll have like some random video that pops up of in-game. It was Resident Evil, and it was the scene when Jill goes down that hallway and the Cerberus dogs jump out, and immediately I knew I needed that game. I literally begged and pleaded my mother to get me a PlayStation so I could play that game. So I've been obsessed with Jill ever since. I don't know how to explain the deep connection that I feel to her character, but she was one of my heroes. So I really fell in love with the game and just ask my son, ask my friends, my family, have been kind of low key obsessed with the series and franchise ever since. And my mom and my dad and everybody, especially my son, is like, you just ever stop talking about Resident Evil? Like, no, probably never.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. It was magic. It didn't matter how cheesy the game was. It
Mhm.
was supposed to be the way that it was. Back in Portland when we were all hanging out, I remember I believe Charlie saying that it was either Charlie or Greg that mentioned that Shinji Mikami mentioned that they wish they would have used real actors. And I think I speak for every Resident Evil fan out there that if they would have went that route, that game wouldn't have been as as popular or as, like it still would have sparked the been the spark for the survival horror genre, in my opinion, but it wouldn't be as popular. Like I think Silent Hill would have been way above Resident Evil, but just the way that everything is and everything was about that game, I understand. You know, the Sega CD and I think the 32X tried to implement like the FMV type games into their consoles and stuff, but Resident Evil was that just that one game where it just grabs you. You know, I was 7 years old when
It
it
has a
came out,
charm.
and I remember I had, yeah, it truly does. So I remember I had to stay home from school because I had a broken arm, and my older half brother lived in the basement when he was in high school. So while I stayed home, he was also at home, and he had me come downstairs, and I would be prepped up on his bed, and he was on his chair, and he handed me the guide, and I was helping him play through the game in the dark.
Mhm.
So I'm like 7 years old. That game legitimately helped me get over my fear of being in the dark, especially like in dark rooms and stuff. You know, growing up.
That's awesome.
So I give I give the original cast like, hey, you know, props for helping me do that. And what they don't understand, these gaming companies, what they don't understand is that the actors they used, like the real life actors they used for these games, gave the kids like us or the people like us the mental visions of what these characters would look like. So I wouldn't see a polygonal character running through a hall. I would
Right.
see
Right.
Greg Smith, or I would see Charlie Kraslovsky. The same with Jeff from Street Fighter. Like this, he was the same thing for me as well growing up. Um, you know, certain things like that. Like I wish these game companies would realize like how much of an effect that had on us and how much appreciation we have for that. And I would still hope, I mean, you'd think that these conventions would kind of prove that to them, but they still, I still don't think they care about it, to be honest with you.
It's unfortunate, but
It is
it's
what it
you're
is.
so right. Yeah, it is what it is. And I don't know. It just I I agree with you that it does give it a certain charm, and I think that if they had done anything different, I probably would have like maybe cared less about the game. But I don't. There was just something about the cutscenes that just grabbed me, and then the puzzles. It intrigued me, and I remember my brother was the one actually who first started playing it, and when he saw that first zombie turn around in the dining room, like when you go through with Barry, he literally screamed, threw the controller up, and then ran out of the room. So I picked up the controller, and at first there was no like strategy or anything. Like, you know how back in the day they had strategy guides? Like, you had to figure out how to even open up your inventory, how to even equip. It was so fast paced and so brand new and such a refreshing concept for video games that I think that's what captivated me so much. And I kind of miss the simplicity of that with like newer games nowadays. It just seems kind of more like action packed and go, go, go kind of thing. Oh, wait. I think I see someone. It's
Yeah.
Kate. Hi, Kate. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're going to bed. Oh,
Thanks for dropping
Kate, I
by.
love you so much. Yes, we're going to catch up very soon. I've known her. She is an amazing cosplayer. She goes back to my Tomb Raider days, like when I was like in my teens. That's how long I've known her. So that means a lot to me that she stopped by. I love you, Kate. Thank you.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, anybody
Right?
that's watching this video, if they want to comment anything, go ahead and we'll show it on the screen and read them out. Yeah, like you were saying, like it had that special charm. Like no matter, I remember Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned like they would all look confused when they were told to like look up in the sky and say no, don't go or whatever. Like they were actually confused, or maybe it was Greg. Um, when they were doing the interviews and stuff at these conventions, they didn't know what was really going on, and that kind of helped that situation that these guys like Shinji wanted these guys to do during that
They had
scene.
something to pull
Now
from.
there was one
Exactly.
extra, yeah, there was one scene I wish they would have added as a live action, and this kind of stuck with me since 1997. And I wish, the scene where Jill runs up to the door and it goes into like a cut scene and Barry's talking to himself. I think it would have been really cool to have that be a live action, like to kind of like turn that into a live action scene, in my opinion.
That could have been really fun to see live action.
So yeah. So we're gonna move on to the next question. What drew you to acting, and what keeps you passionate about
Whew. That I don't actually know how to answer completely because I just feel like I grew up constantly performing. I don't know how to explain it. Like I remember when I was like super tiny little kid, I'd go to the grocery store and I'd step up onto a egg crate and then I just start telling stories to the people while they were shopping and just being goofy or just constantly doing theater and acting and photography. There's something that's just captivating and I love the idea of just pretending. Maybe that's why I love cosplay so much. But it's so, especially when I filmed the sci-fi TV series Venus Rises, it was just so captivating how you could create this scientific looking spacecraft out of like random objects and then you get like the fog machine going and the lighting and it becomes like the atmosphere becomes so realistic and it puts you in a different place and I just kind of feel like I've always had that calling and I don't know how to describe it. It's just fun. It's definitely fun. Artistically satisfying, I guess you could say.
it? Nice. We have a new comment that I will show.
Oh my god. Charlie! He said Annie was the perfect choice for this role. She embodies Jill's character. Your family. It's the other way around, sir. I can't believe that I get to work with like the Chris Redfield. Are you kidding me? Like my childhood hero? Please. That's why oh gosh, hold on. I need to take a
Yeah,
moment.
that's
Wow. I'm
yeah,
still in
that's
shock.
pretty
I'm
awesome. It's
sorry.
like these guys had no idea the yeah that these guys had no idea the effect they had on people like us and that are like, I don't want to say like hardcore or die hard. I just want to straight up like call it. I think we're just like fans, and the community for Resident Evil is like one of the best communities out there, in my opinion, that I've
I
ever been a
agree.
part of. Especially meeting up with you guys in Portland for the first time when you guys were considered to be Charlie's guests, and we all just got to hang out and talk and meet each other and just overall have a good time at this convention in Portland, Oregon. It was a great time. And because of that, look where all of this led now. That is awesome. And we all did this together.
I'm shaking.
Just like with this movie that's upcoming, we're all putting this together.
We're all
I even
working
get to
really
say
hard.
that I get to work with all of you guys. Yeah. So I'm
It's
doing my
insane. Yeah.
best. I'm doing my best to try to work on my zombie walk.
Nice. I
So
believe in you.
yeah,
You
that'll be
got this.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the next question, yeah, the next question is, how do you prepare for your role, like mentally? Like, how would you get into the Jill role?
Ooh.
Like say you're on set and you're about to go do like a major scene. How would you get yourself prepped for that?
I would do my absolute best to just put myself in Jill's shoes. You know, not to be TMI, we're not going to go down a dark rabbit hole or anything, but I've come from quite a long line of PTSD. I'm a lot better now, I promise. But I have a lot of stuff that I can pull on, like panic attacks, things that I've fought, things that I'm still fighting. And think, okay, if I was in this situation and I knew there was like a horde of zombies and I had, my Beretta and only a couple of shots left, like how would I actually genuinely feel in that situation and not overreact? Because I feel like a lot of times acting, you just have to like less is more, especially for film. Like it's one thing on stage. I feel like there is a difference between stage and film. So like stage, you can be quite over dramatic, but on film you want to keep more reserved, like more like I don't know how to explain it, up close kind of, like, yeah, I don't know. I would just try and put myself in Jill's shoes, um and just really kind of lose myself. I don't know if that's like method acting. I don't know. I'll even research. I've been researching Jill
Yeah,
for a couple months now. And so listening to the music to get into it, studying the lore. I'm working really hard, or at least I'm trying. There's a lot of pressure because I really want to make the fans proud. I'm no Inez. I know that. I'm fully aware, but it's an honor. And so in order to get into that role, it's going to take a lot out of me, I think, but it's going to be worth it.
it will be, and I'm sure Nez is glad that someone else would pop. Just because maybe she doesn't want to be in the limelight anymore and kind of just wants to live her family life. Understandable.
Which is
Um,
completely
you know,
respectable.
I
Yeah,
mean, certain
absolutely.
people want to do
Yeah.
that, so it should be
I can, as a
respected.
mom, I can understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I'm just very grateful for this role, and I hope I make everyone proud. And
Okay, so the next question is. Sorry, I think there might be a little bit of a delay.
I
So I'm
think
not
so
sure if
too.
I'm interrupting
Yeah.
you, if you're interrupting me. I don't know. I don't. It's
Sorry.
all good either way. So the next question would be, what was your first impression of Jill?
I would have to say that she, this bad, like the first real badass, awesome person that I would have loved to have growing up as a friend, a partner, just someone that I look up to with a high regard, because she just always seemed to be there for her teammates and she was strong and empowering. So I think she's the coolest, greatest character ever, honestly.
Nice. All right. Moving on to the next question. What personal qualities or experience do you bring that connect you to this role?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I've done in the past, I've done some stunt work. I mean, I'm in my 40s now, so who knows? Who knows if I can still fight? No, I'm just kidding. I can. So I feel like I kind of feel physically prepared. I got inspired actually by Greg, because there was one interview that he did while he was actually like exercising. He was literally in the middle of exercising when he did the interview. So I was like, all right, if he could do that, like I can exercise and be fit and ready for this. So physically, I know it's going to be demanding. Um, so I've been practicing that. And again, not to like trauma dump, but I've gone through a lot of stuff in my past, and I feel like I can really pull and use those past experiences to really bring some of the things to life that I've read in the script about Jill, which I'm not going to talk about. Sorry, I'm not going to give anything away. But yeah, I kind of feel like with that and then my past acting experiences, I'm really hoping that I can do a good job. Do a decent job. Oh, I think we froze. Hello? No, I think we froze. I don't know if anyone can hear me or see me, but we lost Johnny. I think did he leave? I don't know if I'm supposed to just hang out now. Oh no. Okay, hold on. He says his PC crashed on him.
think we're back on. I had some trouble, as Charlie says right here. Zombies have entered the studio, so we had to take care of business. I'm still waiting on Annie to come back. Sorry about the delay, guys. Hopefully she's getting back. Do a little zombie dance. Work on my zombie moves for resurrection. Jill, run back to the stream. Charlie, if you're watching this is what you should yell. Jill, run back to the stream. All right. She saw the link, so hopefully she's making her way back into the stream, and hopefully the connection does not crash again. Come on. There you go. Do, 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 do. And she's back.
Sorry about that. That was kind of silly. That was fun. Oh, yeah, no, we took care of those zombies. No worries. We got this.
Yeah. Minor interruption. All right. So moving forward, we'll move on with the next question. So, how do you handle emotionally intense scenes or moments? I think there's going to be quite a few of those coming up.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but I know where to draw from past experiences. So, I'm thinking I got this. It's going to be a dark place to go from what I read in the script, but it's going to be worth it. It'll be good.
You'll have all of us there for support too, as well
Thank
as
you.
we'll all be there to support each other. And that's what's going to make this movie successful. Yeah, you're welcome. How do you approach building chemistry with other cast members?
Um, I kind of feel like we kind of already have a chemistry. Just I've gotten a chance to meet Charlie a couple of times, and I kind of feel like over these, what has it been, a year now, I think, maybe almost 2 years now that I've known him, and we've just kind of been chatting and getting to know each other. And um, I'm not gonna lie, Eric kind of intimidates me. I think I even told him that at the retro gaming convention where we first met, and I had to tell him right off the bat. I was like, I don't know what it is about you, but you're intimidating. I think he's just really into his character too, which is awesome. But I love Greg. He is a riot. Um, Oh my God. The amount of what was it, berry sandwiches that he was giving fans was a riot. And then I get to meet Linda for the first time. I've only talked to her a couple of times before, but I just I think I'm so excited to meet her for the first time. So I'm hoping, yeah, we can build like a friendship and trust and stuff when we meet each other in person. But I'd still watch out for that Eric guy. He's a little suspicious.
And he seems to be everywhere all the time these days.
He's so fast,
All
like
right.
in real life.
Yeah, he is.
He is. Like when we hiked a friggin' waterfall that was like a switchback, I thought I was gonna die. And Eric is just like zooming up with Andrew, and I was just like, Oh my God. He's so much like Wesker. It's insane. Good times.
Yeah, he
Good
bikes a
times.
lot too.
But yeah.
So, can you share a moment from a past project where you overcame a creative challenge?
That's a good question. I would say Venus Rises, being on set with Venus Rises, I feel like there's kind of two, but Venus Rises was challenging because when we built the sets, we only had a very small studio space. So we had to kind of work with like the length of the camera and the angles and then the props because there were like tons of like all sciency sci-fi props hanging down, like wires and such. And then the other one actually was probably, I don't know if this is really like a creative one, but like a creative challenge. But one of the biggest challenges that I've ever had to overcome was the Tomb Raider fan film that I did with Kate, actually the one who had messaged us earlier in the stream. She wrote a fan film that we made, and I we had a machete accident where I had to go to the hospital, the ER, get my thumb basically sewed back on because it was an accident. And I felt so bad for
Oh,
Sarah because she came down and the first take I blocked. And then the second take I blocked, but I didn't hold the thing correctly. And I have a scar still here. But we had them visiting from out of state and we only had a limited amount of time. So I literally sewed my thumb up and then we went back to filming the next day to try and get everything done and over with. Um, so that was difficult just because of the physical pain. But it's kind of cool though, because you can see it. If you see on my thumb, there's like a bandage all wrapped up. That's from an actual machete accident.
oh man, I can't imagine the pain that that you felt. Oh, get
It, I
shivers thinking
felt
about it.
worse. I
Um,
felt worse for Sarah because she was the one that felt bad for accidentally doing it. And here I am, I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. Like, I had to keep my hand above my head to keep the blood flow and stuff. But like, I felt worse about her because I feel like she suffered more because she felt so bad. It was an accident, and accidents happen.
right, they do, unfortunately. What's your dream project other than Resurrection that you haven't tackled yet?
Uh, honestly, I would love to either do more professional stuff with the Tomb Raider companies again, or even like Capcom or like any video game. Like honestly, that would be so flipping cool to be in a video game, as whether it's like a voice actor, character model. But me and Charlie are in something that's coming out soon too. But that's a lot of fun. But it'd be cool to do it with like Capcom or Crystal Dynamics or Square Enix again. That'd be fun.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, if you want to give that a shout out at the end of this video or right now, I mean, if you can, this way everybody's aware of it and can, if you can wish list it, maybe somebody watching this wants to wish list it. I don't know if is it up yet?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was wondering if the game that you're currently working on being in, is it up yet to wish list on Steam?
Yes, it is. I believe, yeah, you can go on Steam and look up The Nightmare Begins. That you can add to your wish list. And I think the other game before The Nightmare is still in production right now. Like everything is still very like hush hush, still in like baby steps kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, awesome. And here is the final question that I have for you. If your character in Resurrection would have a secret that no one knew about, what would it be?
Hmm. I would think that if Jill had some kind of a deep secret, that it would have to do something with her father. Because I feel like I've heard past lore that her father was kind of a criminal, and that's kind of how she learned lockpicking and kind of learned some ways around like guns and stuff. But I could be wrong. I read it on the internet, so who knows if it's real. But I think that'd be cool if she like secretly resents him for it, but also like really misses him and appreciates him for the skills that he taught her, if that makes any sense. Or that she's secretly in love with Claire. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Right on.
kidding.
That's great. So thank you. I want to thank you so much for taking the time for doing this interview. It's awesome. When I heard that you were going to be a part of Resurrection, the first thing that came to my mind is I gotta have you on to be interviewed because it would be so much cooler just to kind of get to know a little bit more of your background in like the filming industry and projects you've been a part of. And I thought it was really cool that you worked with Square Enix, on kind of portraying in a way. Well, technically, officially for a weekend, you were Laura Croft. That's really cool. Not many people get to say that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so if there's anything else that you want to talk about or you want to put your socials out there, if you have any social media accounts that maybe anybody wants to follow, you can go ahead and shout them out now.
Yeah, so if you look up the Cosplay Mom on Instagram, Facebook, or you can add me on Facebook for just Annie Roig. Um, that's really about it. I'm not online very much, but when I am, it's yeah, I try and get back to everybody as soon as I can.
Awesome. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on episode 3 of the Gimmick Table podcast and talking about the upcoming anticipated film, Resurrection of Biohazard Story. And I can't thank the community enough for helping to make this project happen. We are just under 2 weeks away now, as far as I know, and we are, I believe, more than halfway of meeting the financial goal. And I have faith that we will meet it, and we will knock this right out of the park. So again, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this interview. The next interview I have coming up is with Greg Smith, aka Barry Burton. So be on the lookout for that. And until next time, this has been everybody's favorite player one, Johnny Cass. I think I ended it now.